Hello, shining ones. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. Oh, I'm so full of love. I'm so full of an expectancy of what is coming. I mean, like if life isn't already so perfect, but I see more. It's what's talked about in Asha 1, that ever expanding good. How blessed are we today? So many things I want to talk about. One, I want to talk about vortexes. You know, people will travel around the world. They'll go to the pyramids. They'll go to Sedona. They're trying to find that place where there's a frequency, a vibration, a portal. The veil is so thin to the spirit realm. They might be looking for awakening, enlightenment, clarity, maybe healing in their body and mind, a closer connection to God. But I'm going to show you what we call here first circle, and you can create it right where you are. You don't have to go anywhere. Spirit is everywhere. My friends, we're going to create that vortex today. A couple ways we're going to do it. We're going to do it by inviting the spirit. I'm going to attempt anyway, I should say, to do some music with the singing bowls. I'm hoping the camera can hold that much sound, because you know how it is with those singing bowls. And so hopefully the mic will be able to catch it. But I experienced something so beautiful today. So, you know, we've been playing our music, our Magus 9 music of Asha. What is Asha if you're brand new? It's the perfect creator's perfect idea. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind. It's heaven on earth. It's divine life and health. And as I was playing that, I got the idea to get out a singing bowl. I got the heart chakra one. And oh my God, it took me somewhere, got me thinking about those vortexes, got me thinking about first circle. A story I tell all the time, but I'll just touch on it briefly for the new people. When I was in Florida many, many years ago, I headed out of my mountain retreat here because I wanted to see if these ideas I had would actually work in the city, out amongst other people. Would it work for other people? Would I be able to hold my peace? You know, right now I'm in 200 acres in the woods in a beautiful home, and just it's heaven on earth. It's perfect. And it's all fenced off. You know, it's my refuge. It's my safe place. And I was thinking, can I take this frequency, this idea, this Asha, out into the world? So I bought a travel trailer and I headed all the way across the United States to Florida. And I went surfing every day. I was making new friends that we became really close. And one of my friends that I made there had OCD really bad. And I introduced him to what we call first circle here. And now he explained to me that he had it from when he was a child. His parents took him to all the doctors and he's been on the medications. It finally got so bad, he lost his career. He was very successful, but he lost his career, still had a lot of money in the bank, still rich. And so he is using that money though for the latest treatments for OCD and to stop the voices in his head. And he said the medication was making it worse. And so what I would do, every day we got together and I'd draw a circle in the sand. And that was first circle. And in this circle, it's light. And in this time, in this space, it's pure light. And that light is around you and that light is in you. And the darkness cannot enter. And it took months of doing this every day to retrain his brain, which had thought a different way, for up 40 something years, and every day. And after a couple months, my friend said, he ran up to me, tears in his eyes, completely healed from OCD. The voices had stopped. He was happy. He was joyful. He was peaceful. And to this day, as many, many years ago, still completely healed. And the reason I tell that one story, because that was the first time I saw First Circle work. Now, I mean, hundreds of you have come to me with your testimonies of Asha, of First Circle, of when you're in that truth, that lie and illusion disappears. So we want to create that frequency, excuse me, that vibration of truth and light and love so pure and strong that the hate and the fears and the just the low frequencies, they can't even come in here. They can't torment me anymore. I'm above those things, right? They don't affect my energy anymore. Matter of fact, our book Asha Come. Have you guys gotten your book? That just came back into print. Many of you have ordered it. Asha Come. Let me just see if I can find that. Matter of fact, there's a couple things that come to my mind here. There it is. First Circle. So it's very much like Asha, a statement with a little teaching. It says, First Circle. There is a circle of light around me, in me, that evil cannot enter. See how that could be your mantra? You can create your own vortex. You don't have to go anywhere. Create a space that you don't do anything but worship, but come into the presence of spirit. It doesn't have, I have a whole room, but it could just be a little corner of your room, or maybe where you have your spiritual elements, maybe some crystals and candles and your book Asha. Just whatever is important to you, and where you come, and this is just for connecting with spirit. So there's actually a reaction. Your body knows when I come into this space, into this circle, you feel it, right? Oh, we're coming to meet with spirit. Let me flip over just a couple pages. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Hold. You know, the word hold there, it was also hear. Makes me think of Jesus. He said, verily, verily, I say unto you, he who hears my word has God life, eternal life, right? But a lot of people heard it and it didn't give them God life. Matter of fact, a lot of them rejected it. A lot of them didn't understand it. A lot of them heard it and thought, oh, that sounds great, but didn't do anything else with it. This hearing, it's about holding it. It's about knowing it. Again, when this was written, to know was to be it, right? You hold it. You become it. You become the light that the darkness and evil can't enter. You become, matter of fact, yesterday we talked about Harvatat, the spirit of health. You know, a lot of people didn't find that. I don't know if YouTube didn't promote it or something, but it was a great video. And it was about taking into that spirit of health and holding it. And you know, when you're holding the spirit of health, sickness and disease, it can't live in that frequency. The two just cannot combine. It's impossible. It's like when you are fully full of God, the devil can't be in you, right? When you are at complete peace, there's no distress or dis-ease, right? You're holding it. You've become it. You are that frequency, that vibration. And again, that's why people go to these vortexes, because they're trying to align themselves with a higher energy, a better energy. And we can do that right here. And so we're going to do that in a couple ways. We're going to do some reading. And then I'm going to attempt to bring up my singing bowl and then play the Magus 9 Asha music and see if the mic catches it and you can feel it. It is different, of course, when you're here in this room and you know how those singing bowls, the vibration goes through you and it attunes you to that frequency of the heart chakra. And then you got the words of Asha, right? Asha live in me and I will live in you. My life, pure light. And it's the word behind those words, right? It's like Om, the holy Om, the original word, the frequency that makes form and matter, right? That original word is just good, just God. It's love without the hate. It's peace without the war. It's light without the darkness. It's just good. And that's what sets us apart here, guys, at the Order of the Magi. And I do want to touch on this a little bit because there's a lot of you coming up and sharing Asha, right? Joining the Order of the Magi. And I want you to see this because it's important. I didn't see it when I first started out. You're going to start to see these amazing things. Like there's a lot of other YouTube channels and religions out there that talk about these things, this magic and their miracles, but they're not at a place where they're actually experiencing it. You will experience it with Magi Magic. You know, we've talked about this. Magic was named after the Magi. We know what we're doing. Our way is completely different than everyone else's, but it works. And a great example, I mean, I won't go into all the stories, but I've seen miracle after miracle. If you've been with me for 10 years, you've heard them. I mean, people that came to me with their leg was about to be amputated because of infection. It was gone the next day. Cancers disappear. And then my friend I was telling you about in Florida doing First Circle. Can you look at the trap you could fall into? I did go to a Bible college, but I didn't study to be a doctor. I know nothing about chemicals and medication and chemicals in the brain, you know, and things like these doctors have given their life to, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for this education, and they couldn't heal my friend. I'm thinking, I just healed somebody. Right? And you can start to get a little puffed up, a little prideful. And I am very proud of the Magi. But you can almost start to get into the wrong kind of pride. I'm embarrassed to say, I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I started to think I might be Zoroaster, you know, reborn into the earth. Because I'm seeing things that no one else is doing, and we're talking about things that no one else is talking about. And then, thank goodness, Spirit is like, easy boy. You know, we are a part of God, right? We know that. We talk about that all the time. You're God's stuff. You come from God. You're made of God. You'll return to God. We're God's stuff. But people can get off where they think they are the God, and then everyone else should worship them, right? You'll see it in all the different religions. In Christianity, I've seen people think they are Elijah. People think they're Buddha. People think they're Jesus. There's actually people on the earth right now walking around with a following, and people think that person is Jesus returned, you know? And so I caught myself. I'm like, oh man, that's embarrassing. Don't do that. I'm a part of that archetype of Zoroaster, obviously, right? Where I'm giving this message of Asha, of Mazda, the all-good spirit. So it's a brotherhood. It's a connection. It's that archetype. It's my gifting, right? Everyone has a different gifting. There's healers and there's prophets and the preachers, and there's different gifting, and you kind of align with that group and those people, and but don't lose yourself thinking that you are it. Our job is to point people to Asha, point people to Mazda, point people to their true identity, that they come from good spirit, they're made of good spirit, and you start to think, my God, this pointing finger is so powerful, but it's the message, the original word that is in your finger, that is in you, that is you, but it's not separate, right? You're not above, you're one with. And this is where people, they start making cults, right? People are kind of worshiping them, looking up to them. You need to be pointing people to look to God good, to Spirit, to Mazda, to Asha, to themselves, to showing how great they are. Not trying to build yourself up higher, right? When you're doing that, you're off. And I caught myself, and you can see it in some of my older videos where I really thought I was it, and so for my new Magi starting out, just remember that, yes, you are amazing. You're going to do and see amazing things, but it's all of us. It's everything. It's God good. It's Mazda. It's Asha. It's the Misha Spintas. It's the spirit of health and divine dominion and peace and Vohomenu, the God mind, and Emeritat, immortality, God life. We're all one working together, and don't lose yourself in pride. Don't lose yourself thinking that you're just it and everyone else should worship you and look to you. Don't become a know-it-all. That's another thing I found myself slipping into. And I just got hot and sweaty thinking about it. I'm embarrassed when I think about it, but it's real, and maybe I can help you guys avoid that, and just always point to spirit. And it is you. You are that spirit. You are that great. But all of us are. That divine spark is in all of us, and we're bringing that out. What else is on my heart? This video turned different than I thought it was going. I want to talk about also, as we're talking about that frequency and that energy coming in, ways to hold it. So we hold it in what we are, we become it, but you can also hold it in objects. I got some of my objects around here that I hold it, right? I keep this on me. You usually see me, it's kind of warm today, but I always got my Asha hoodies. It's got the pocket. I keep an Asha in there. Kind of grounds me. If I'm out and about, I just put my hand, I just feel it there, and it reminds me of who I am, right? It reminds me of the light darkness can enter. It reminds me of protection and provision. It reminds me of my spirit guides. It reminds me of Harvatat, the spirit of health. Again, if you didn't see that, go watch that yesterday's video, the spirit of health. But this book, again, you know this already if you have one. It's more than a book. There's a spirit. There's an energy. There's a life in this actual paper and ink and words and the word and the words. And the more time you and everyone else spends time with it, right? It's all connected. All of our little orange books are connected. How does that happen, Megas? Well, it's like Zarathustra said, when you partner with Zarathustra, you partner with the Magi that were, are, and shall be. When you pray Hashem Vahu, you partner with Mazda, you partner with the Magi, and you partner with all the holy spells that have ever been written or that shall be written in the future, right? Because this is outside of time and space. There's no separation. All of these books, these little orange books, this word is connected. There's a spirit of Asha, right? We have to remember that. It's the Holy Spirit. It is God good spirit. It is that pure light. And we see it as that. It makes me think of in the Bible, the woman that had the issue of blood, and she thought to herself, if I can just touch the hem of Jesus's robe, I will be healed. And she was, right? Because she saw God in Jesus. We see Asha in Asha, right? When we hold this book to us. Matter of fact, will you guys try this? I've been asking a lot lately. I've been asking that you do our 7-day challenge again. We do this every once in a while. I just put out some new music. It's 20 minutes long. Last one, I think, was 28 minutes long. We listen to it every day. We live in the word that are in those words. And something about song, it goes deep, my friends, and it makes things just happen quicker. Another thing to make things happen quicker, hold Asha to your chest. Like, I'll fall asleep when I take naps during the day. I call it meditation because I'm getting into that place between awake and asleep, and I got my music going, and I'm setting the attention to connect with Mazda, with the All Good Spirit, and I put Asha on my chest. And all that frequency, as I'm spending that time in it, I see it as we are one. Right? I've said this many times. If you've seen me, you've seen this little orange book. You look at the little orange book, you've seen me. That's how you have to get where just your vibration, your frequency, your love is in this book, where it's actually vibrating that frequency, and you are vibrating this frequency. It's that oneness, right? The message of Jesus, you and Jesus one, you and God good one, no separation. And it's almost like being possessed by. A great way to see this is you think of when you accept Jesus, right? I remember at my church, they would have this saying, they would say, less of me and more of Jesus. And so I always wanted to take things a bit further. I used to say, none of me, all of Jesus. But it's a possession, but you never lose yourself. It's never all of something. It's one with, right? So you become one with Jesus, but you're still there, and he's one with you. You don't disappear. It's a union. It's to know, to be, the two become one beautiful thing, right? And so when you can picture it that way, now you can see it with the attributes of God, the Amisha Spentas. So the spirit of health. See, you're being possessed by it, just like you're being possessed by Jesus, right? You're taking into that spirit of health, where less of me, more of you. None of me, all of you, right? I am that spirit of health. Yet, yes, you're still here, but the real you, the true you, the divine spark you, not past failures and mistakes and errors or sins, not things that like addictions or anger issues passed down from mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. Those aren't you. You're not, that's not what you are. It's not things that you do or have done that is you. It's the you, the conscious you, the observer you, which in truth is perfect. You just happen to be living in a mixed world right now, but we're working on that. Our job as the Magi is to return it back to Asha, the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind, perfection, love, good. Speaking of that, flip to Asha 5 real quick. Asha 5 says, believe only the highest truth and enter Asha. As the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. This is called Asha, truth. This idea of truth is the very spirit of God. It is much more than not making a false statement. It is the true vision of God's ideal existence. It is the real above all real, the highest truth, creation in perfect harmony, where nothing occurs at the expense or harm of another. Can you see yourself living in Asha? Can you have a reason to believe it's the only thing that could come from his mind? Can you believe his world, it was a love without the hate? It was peace without the war. It was health without the sickness and disease. It was kind. It was safe. It was beautiful. As we go into our meditations with a reason to believe, and we hold those frequencies, you'll see them every time, and it gets easier to slip into that. It's our first circle. So every day we go to our space, our sacred space, and we see that circle of light on the floor. You can even draw it out with your finger. Just see that light, and you get in it, and then as you get into that circle, that light is around you, but that light is in you, and that light is you. And it's a pure light. And you're safe in this light. All right, I'm going to attempt to get out my singing bowl and some Magus 9 music. and see if we can capture this. I'll just do one song, about 3 minutes long. And if it goes well, we'll do it again. Get your book, Asha. Maybe if you have a favorite crystal, just all your sacred items around. Maybe your Asha come. Maybe you light a candle. Maybe you have your picture of Asha. Just prepare your heart. Take a long, deep breath. Breathe deep. Release. Relax all the muscles in your body. And just set this time, this intention, to connect with Asha.